Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you what I've been doing at my 10-acre food plot. It's the end of May. I've done a lot, but I have a lot more to do. So stick around and I'll show you what's going on. First things first. So I had winter, I always say this wrong, not winter wheat. I had winter rye in here last year. So it was, well, you can see it on the side there where I didn't mow, but it was getting pretty tall. I wanted to get that out of here and give my clover some room to breathe. So last year when I planted this side was clover and some other mixes. The far side way down there was brassicas, and I mixed clover in there at the same time as the brassicas. So I'll show you how that looks. One thing I experimented with, I shoved some dogwood cuttings in the ground a while back. You can see those there. They're taking off. I didn't even fence them in or anything, but I'll show you how this is looking. Now, I have a couple things going on. There's one of my chestnuts, one of the 3 that made it from last year because I didn't cage it. This whole edge this year, I'm going to try to plant in switchgrass. Now I sprayed it early. It didn't do a good job, so I sprayed it today with 2,4-D and Roundup, and I'm going to be putting switch in it very soon, and I'll put some simazine down. I think I got a really good spray on it today, which is why I sprayed from the edge of the woods out. So I didn't want to cut any of this that had the Roundup or 2,4-D on it because I wanted to make sure they soaked it in. But the rest of it, I just got mowed. My number one goal was not to hit a fawn. So I was looking very hard. Now I've raised whitetails for 8 years. I have a pretty good eye for the fawns, and I kind of know where they like to lay. But nonetheless, if you're gonna brush hog this time of year, you gotta watch out for fawns. I came across a bunch of little rabbits, but no fawns, although I did see a couple beds. Now, what I like to do is keep my bucket like that. I just drag it right on top of the ground, and that'll help move the fawns along if you would come across one. As long as they're, I would say in about 3 days, they take off. If they were born like today, yesterday, they might just sit there and you'd run them over. So watch out for that and be careful. So this is the rest of the plot. I'm about a third way down to the end here. This year, this is all gonna get tilled under. All this clover, I have some crimson clover and a good mix, and this is gonna be where my brassicas go this year. So this end's gonna be the brassicas. And then the other end, so far what I'm thinking is I'm going to leave in clover. Now I have a lot of grasses in here. I'm going to have to spray some clethodim and probably mow it a couple times. But, I mean, as you can see, I have plenty of clover. It's all through here. Now this is the end that's going to get tilled in anyway, but the other end's just as good. That end was some Whitetail Institute products, and the end behind me was some a mix from the mill, and they both did well. So yeah, right about in here I'll leave in clover. Then as we turn around, that's going to be the brassicas. Now I come in from down there and I need some screening. So what I did, I sprayed what I showed you there. This whole edge wood line will be switchgrass. I have field tile in here, so I can't plant switch anywhere but the edges pretty much, but it's going to go all along this edge, down along that edge where that big tree is. It's going to come across and all along there. So when I usually come in from there and walk in this way. I want that to be a good screen for me. Now, because of my field tile, I can't put it here, but this will be another screen. you can see where I sprayed previously. It did a decent job, but I sprayed a much wider path today. And what I'll do from there down is put some type of sorghum mix, Egyptian wheat, something like that, all the way down there. So this whole plot is going to be screened in from both sides. And then this year, I'm going to put some type of screen or tall grass in the middle, because they can come out down there and look all the way to the other end of the plot. If a buck's looking for doe, he can just visually check it. So I want them to have to get a little bit closer. Now, I normally have a tree stand there. That's where I shot my buck last year. I'd like to get something, some type of blind with some cover, some screen all the way around me, because sometimes they get behind me and the wind usually blows this way, and sometimes they'll get behind me in that tree. So I'd like to be somewhere down in here. I picked up a corn planter. I might play around and try to do some corn. This is a dual property. It's going to be my Christmas tree farm. So part of what I did today is I sprayed all this area here. I'm trying to prep my fields for next year. I'm going to spray those and put those in clover, white clover, so it's short. That's a good cover for the trees. I'll show you my trees while we're talking about it. I planted 960 last year, and I planted I think 740 this year. They're Canaan firs. The hope is for a Christmas tree farm. If not, I'll have some really good screening in addition to my switchgrass, but might be able to see the taller ones behind the tractor. Here's some of my new rows. Take you over to my ones from last year. You'll see the clover. I planted that. I didn't frost seed it, but I put it in the fall. So just brush hogged between the rows last week, but 960 in here. So I got a lot going on. Got a plan for the trees, plan for the deer. That area there that I showed you, that's never going to go in trees. I got to have some fun. But that's what's going on. So coming up, I'll be planting the switch. I'll be planting that area where my trees are going and clover, and I'll probably do a cover crop of oats. And then putting that sorghum Egyptian wheat screen up. Probably wait about a month to do that, maybe 3 weeks. I don't know. There's a lot to do. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And remember, look out for those fawns.